Hi, welcome back to the channel. Today, we'll be starting a series of lessons where we'll be solving the objective questions in Waec 2024 Mathematics. Today, we'll start with question 1 to 5. That said, let's get into class. Like I promised, we'll be solving question 1 to 5. Here's the first question. The first question says we should multiply 3.4 by 7.1 times 10.8. Now, this is what it means. I'll be saying 3.4 that's times 10 raised to power minus 5 times 7.1 times 10 raised to power 8. Let's rearrange it. That's 3.4 times 7.1 times 10 raised to power minus 5 times 10 raised to power 8. Obviously, 10 raised to power minus 5 and 10 raised to power 8 will apply indices. And for 3.4 times 7.1, we just multiply. Let's multiply that first. That's 3.4. Here is 7.1. That becomes 4 times 1 is 4. 3 times 1 is 3. Then I have 7 times 4 again. That's 28. I've carried 2. 7 times 3, that's 21. Plus 2, that's 23. Then we can sum up. 4 plus 0, that's 4. 3 plus 8, that's 11. I've carried 1. 1 plus 3, that's 4. And here is 2. So that is 2, 4, 1, 4. Remember that we have points after 1 and point after 4. That's 2 decimals. So I'll place my decimals this way. Here's my decimal times 10 raised to power minus 5 plus 8. That's 24.14 times 10 raised to power. From indices, minus 5 plus 8, that's 3. But if you look at your objective answers, you see that you don't have 24 in that answer. You can now rearrange it. This 2.414 times 10. That's the same thing as 24.14 times 10 raised to power 3. Now that's the same thing as 2.414 times 10 raised to power 4 times 10 raised to power 4. Our answer is C. Let's see the second question. My second question says that P is such that 1 is less than P and P is less than 20. Now, if you observe this, you'll see that P is actually not equals to 1 and P is not equals to 20. But P is greater than 1 and P is less than 20. That is, P is between 2 and 19. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and 19. Remember, P is not equals to 20. So we're going to pick our P from 2 to 19. Then for my R is such that 0 is less than or equals to R. And R is also less than or equals to 25, where R is a multiple of 4. We must observe this other condition. Although R is greater than 0, but R must be a multiple of what? 4. That is, I cannot start from 0. My first item in here will be 4. Next multiple is 8. The next multiple will be 12. The next is 16, 20, and 24. These are all multiples of 4 that ranges between 0 and 25. Now I'm asked to look for P intersect R. P intersect R simply means that the number of items that are in P and also in R. This, if you look at P, look at 2 and 3. I have 2 and 3. Are 2 and 3 in R? No. I have 4. 4 is in P and 4 is in R. So the first item I'll pick will be what? R. Will be 4, sorry. The next item, 5, 6, 7, they are in P but not in R. So the next item I'm going to select is 8. 8 is in P and in R. 9, 10, 11, 12. I have 12. 12 is in P and in R. So I'll pick 12. Now if you look at 13, 14, 15, they are in P but not in R. So my next item is 16. 16 is in P and also in R. My last item in R here is 20. 20 is in R but not in P. So I'll stop at 16. So my items are 4, 8, 12, and 16, which means my correct answer here should be B. Now let's see the third question. The third question says the first item of an arithmetic progression AP is 2. Let's take it one after the other. A, which is the first term of an arithmetic progression, or rather, let's first write out the formula for the arithmetic progression. My formula for arithmetic progression says Tn is equals to A plus n minus 1 into D, where A is my first term. That's my first term, and I've been told that this first term is the same thing as what? As 2. And my n, which is we've not been given the value of n, so I can put, and the last term of this arithmetic progression, let's call that L, is equals to 29. That's an nth term. You can refer to it as n, or I can refer it to it as my Tn. And if the common difference is 3, that is D, which is the common difference, is equals to 3. Now, from my formula, my Tn now will be equals to A. A is 2 plus n minus 1 into D. D is 3 is equals to 29. So we are asked to find how many terms are in this AP. How many terms do I have in this arithmetic progression? Let's expand. Let's expand so that my 2 plus n minus 1 into 3 is equals to 29. I can expand this bracket so that this is 2 plus 3n minus 3 is equals to 29. 2 minus 3, that is minus 1. That becomes minus 1 plus 3n is equals to 29. 3n is equals to 29 plus 1. 3n is equals to 30. N is equals to 30 over 3, which is equals to 10. That tells me that I have how many terms in the arithmetic progression? 10. That means my Tn is obviously the same thing as T what? T10. That is the last term in the progression. If the last term in the progression is the 10th term, then we have 10 terms in this arithmetic progression. Let's move over to the fourth question. The fourth question in the Waec 2024 mathematics objective says that we should express in index form. We have the log of a, log of x base a plus the log of y base a to be equals to 3. If the log of x base a plus the log of y base a is equals to 3, remember that the log of xb plus the log of AB is the same thing, or AX, sorry, is the same thing as the log of BA base X from our logarithmic rules. Now I can simply say that this is the same thing as log A XY is equals to 3. And obviously, if log XY base A is equals to 3, then xy will be the same thing as a raised to power 3 from our logarithmic rules. Now, all these questions just wants to test is your ability to handle and to interpret logarithmic rules. That qualifies for my question, for my answer D. Now, let's see the fifth and the last for this lesson. Now, the fifth and the last for this lesson says that my 2p minus q minus p plus q all squared. Now, here is 2p minus q, here is a square, minus p plus q, here is all squared. This is the same thing as 2p minus q into 2p minus q. And here I have minus. You have to be careful with this negative sign. A lot of students will make mistake from the negative sign. I'll advise you use a large bracket with a negative sign. Then this is the same thing as p plus q into p plus q. You close this bracket close a large bracket. Now this becomes 2p into 2p minus q minus q now into 2p minus q. Now we now come into our negative sign and our large bracket. This is p into p plus q plus q into p plus q. Now we can close our bracket. Now so this is the same thing as 2p times 2p, that's 4p squared, minus 2p times minus q, that's minus 2pq. Q times minus 2p, that's minus 2pq. Minus q times minus q. You multiply two negatives together, it becomes what? Positive. That's plus q. Let's open or expand this downwards. This is minus into, now p times p, that's p squared, plus p times q, that's pq, plus q times p again, that's pq, plus q times q, that's q squared. We close the bracket. Obviously, this can expand into 4p squared minus 2p minus 2p, that's minus 4pq, minus 2pq minus 2pq, sorry, that's minus 4pq, plus q squared. Sorry, this q squared. Q times q, that's plus q squared, minus, let's say open this bracket, minus p squared stands alone, plus 2pq plus q squared. Let's close the bracket again, so that we can now open that bracket to become 4p squared minus 4pq plus q squared minus p squared minus 2pq minus q squared. Here I've only applied the negative sign broadly, so that this is the same thing as 4p squared minus p squared, that's 3p squared, minus 4pq minus 2pq. Now look at it. I want you to look at it from this concept. If I have, I'm owing somebody 4 naira and I'm owing another person 4 naira, that is, I'm owing another person 2 naira. I want to see it from this perspective. I'm owing somebody 4 naira, I'm owing another person for 2 naira. My total debt becomes what? 6 naira. That's 6pq. Now I have plus q squared minus q squared. Both gives way for each other. Let me just use this side, which is equals to, so I have 3p squared minus 6pq. Now, if you look at the objectives, you'll see that I don't have anything similar to this, but I actually have something similar. The objective wants me to further factorize. I have 3, I have 6. I have p squared and I have another p. So I can factorize with 3p. Bring out 3p, then I'll be left with p minus 6 here becomes what? 2q. So the most similar to my answer is E. So question 5, the answer is E. Now with this, we have come to the end of this lesson, and I'll be glad you hit the subscribe button. That way you'll be sure to get our lessons anytime we create them. Thank you for staying with us, and see you in our next class.